day for oxen. Somebody else? Yes, sir.
The cold day that we spent today, those of us that brave the weather, could you describe the conditions in which these...
Well, it was absolutely necessary. People say that it was harder to do in winter. My opinion, I'm going to switch now. My opinion is that Henry was the only one who figured out that the winter actually made it possible, because there were no paved roads, there were no corrugated roads, and when you've got 6,000 pounds on a sled, if the ground is not frozen, you're simply going to sink. And in fact, the major holdups in the exercise was when it got warmer and it got muddy. It got particularly muddy between Westfield and Springfield. But the frozen water barriers and the frozen roads, and preferably just the right amount of snow. We did lose several days at Fort George because I finally got snow I'd been praying for, and then I got too much. And obviously a sled of that size and stuff, you don't want 3 feet of snow.
Chair, Councilor Navin, Councilor Doucette, we're the three members on the Personnel Board. Welcome to both Raymond, who's here for a reappointment. And again, I was telling McGee, and I was telling Raymond that we may change some of the policies, but thank you for coming tonight. I know this is a second chance because of the snowstorm to be here. And Judy McConnell, who will be appointed after our review, I'm sure. So I'd like to open up to the committee members, whoever would like to ask questions first, and this is to be appointed to the, I want to get the name right, the Council on Aging. Sometimes they say Elderly Services, Council on Aging. So, members?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So for both of you, why did you decide to join the Council of Aging? Or for Raymond, considering your reappointment, I'll let you go first so you can listen in.
Well, when I retired, my wife and I had been working at as volunteers at the food pantry. Mm-hmm. And whenever I completely retired, I went in to see Kathy Murphy and said, "Do you need any help doing stuff around the place here?" And she said, "Why don't you go over and talk to Gretel at the food pantry?" And I went over and said, "Do you need any help?" She said, "Yeah, take your coat off. There's a truck coming in about 5 minutes. You can unload it." And went, so I was hooked from then on. But then there was an opening at as the Council on Aging, and I thought, well, maybe I can be a little bit more help as a member of the council rather than just working at the food pantry. So as I'm getting old, maybe I understand some of the issues for older people that other people don't understand, and maybe I can be of assistance there. So so far it's been a useful 4 years for me, and I hopefully hope for the center.
Good, good. And what about you, Judy?
I guess I've been a volunteer pretty much my whole life, one thing or another, and being retired, as Ray said, it's a good opportunity to work with those of us who are getting older and might be more familiar with some of the issues. And couple of the people on the present board invited me to apply when an opening arose, so here I am.
Good, good. Thank you. Where did you volunteer before?
Well, I once upon a time taught Sunday school. That was way back. I did some work with a young man who had physical abilities, and we did patterning things with him during the day. A long time ago also. Yeah. I was an assistant Brownie teacher, troop leader. Mm-hmm. I was, what else did I volunteer for? I was a room mother in 4 of my daughter's classes. Mm-hmm. And now I am a volunteer at the Daybreak program at the senior center.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you both for volunteering. Appreciate it.
Councilor Navin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'll just echo Councilor Doucette's thanks for volunteering. These committee meetings are often pro forma, because we want to just have people in here and get to know them a little bit. I think it's incredibly important for people to see the value in volunteering. And I want to thank you both for stepping up to volunteer. It's, there are a lot of different positions, and we try to highlight that here, that there are a lot of positions that people can get involved in, and they're incredibly valuable, and the work is really important. I would argue that almost at no place, more than the Senior Center and the Council on Aging, the programming and all of the different things that we are able to offer. It's super important. So I just want to say thank you. I also want to say it's rare that when people are put down for these positions that we kind of get calls in advance, but I have heard from several people in endorsing both your candidacies. So I think that's great. I think it speaks both to the value of the Council on Aging and to your character and the need to have you guys on board. So if there's no further comments, I will make a motion to approve both appointments.
We'll take that motion, and I'll second it as the chair if I can. Just in case there's any questions from the other councilors that are here. I see Councilor Vital, Councilor Ficello. Do either one of you would like to ask any questions? No. Okay. Members who wish to volunteer on the Commission for the Elderly, and again, I'm goofing that up, it's not that, it's the Council on Aging. Councilor Ficello, any question? You're all set too. And I would just, when I walked in, Raymond was here, and I told him I wanted to thank him. He's a reappointment, so he's coming in as, again, doing it another term, so thank you so much. And Judy and I guess we go back to church, and I've forgotten some of my church years, but that was a few years ago. But again, thank you for all you do, both of you, all you do for the community, not just the Council on Aging, but the community. And a little side note, I've been more involved with the community, with the senior center, because my wife's down there on some exercise programs, so keep those programs going and you'll make me happy. But I was looking over your minutes on December 16th, and I was talking to Raymond about this. It's so nice that this Sand for Seniors, and I said, what's that mean? And then what the DPW does, and the seniors get advanced sand. And there's, I think, 58 seniors on this program, so especially this winter, I've had to go down to DPW a couple times to get sand. I couldn't get up my driveway. So I think that's a great program, and I see you got a new chef. That's always a good thing too, so keep up the good work. On that note, there was a motion and second to approve both positions. All in favor? All opposed? No one's opposed? We're all set, and thank you again for what you do for our community, not just with the Senior Center and Council on Aging, but everything you do for the community. And with
Motion
that
to
note,
adjourn?
Motion's been made to adjourn, and you want to second it? Seconded, all in favor? We are adjourned at, I gotta get the time here, 7:07, 7-minute meeting. That number.
Good evening, everyone. Call the City Council to order at 8 o'clock on Monday evening, February 9th, 2026. This meeting is being recorded. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There are 32 items on this evening's agenda, and I will ask the city clerk to please read agenda item number 1.
Minutes of the City Council meeting, January 12th, 2026.
Councilor Vital.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to accept and place on file.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are filed. The vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 2.
Communication from the mayor regarding grant acceptance in the amount of $15,000 from the Massachusetts Cultural Council awarded to the Marlborough Downtown Village Association to support the annual food truck and artisan festival.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the grant, please.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the grant. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The grant is approved and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 3.
Communication from the mayor regarding grant acceptances in the amount of $2,100 from the Massachusetts Cultural Council and $7,000 from the Friends of the Marlborough Public Library, awarded to the Marlborough Public Library to be used to fund a mural for the children's room and to fund winter and spring library programs.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve both grants, please.
Motion's made and seconded to approve both grants. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Both grants are approved and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 4.
Communication from the mayor regarding gift acceptance in the amount of $2,500 from various donors awarded to the police department to be used to establish a drone unit.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the gift, please. Gifts, please.
Motion made and seconded to approve the gift. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Preciado.
Thank you, Mr. President. Definitely uneasy news for me, having a drone surveilling our community. Just wanted to make that note. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Preciado. Any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the approval of the gift? Opposed? The gift is approved and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 5.
Communication from the mayor regarding notification of temporary appointment pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 61A of Brian Doheny as interim city collector effective January 23rd, 2026 for a 60-day term to expire March 24th, 2026.
Councilor Oram.
Motion to approve.
Just accept and place on files out.
Okay, accept and place on file. Thank you.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the temporary appointment. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The temporary appointment is filed and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 6.
Communication from the mayor regarding notification of temporary appointment pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 61A of Jeffrey Gogan as interim fire chief effective January 29, 2026 for a 60-day term to expire March 30th, 2026.
Councilor Oram.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've spoken to our chief and suggest just so the councilors can get to know him and ask questions to refer this to the personnel.
Well, hang on. You went ahead. This is the temporary appointment. This one's just the
Oh, this is
accept,
the
place on
temporary,
file.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Accept and place on file.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the temporary appointment. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Temporary appointment is filed and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 7.
Communication from the mayor regarding the appointment of Jeffrey Gogan as fire chief for a 5-year term, effective from the date of city council confirmation.
Councilor.
This time I'll get it right. I'm going to recommend that this be placed on the Personnel Committee for review and allow the councilors to get to know and meet and greet, and we'll do this exponentially so that we can get him approved. Thank you, Mr. President.
Motion made and seconded to refer the item to the Personnel Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The items going to Personnel and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 8.
Communication from the mayor regarding the appointment of Pamela McNair to the Commission on Disabilities for a 3-year term, effective from the date of city council confirmation.
Councilor Oram.
Thank you, Mr. President. Recommend it go to Personnel Committee for review.
Motion's made and seconded to refer to the Personnel Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. It's going to Personnel Committee and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 9.
Communication from the mayor regarding the appointment of Karen Thompson to the Commission on Disabilities for a 3-year term, effective from the date of city council confirmation.
Councilor Oram.
Thank you, Mr. President. Recommend it go to Personnel Committee for review.
Motion made and seconded, refer to the Personnel Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? This item's going to Personnel, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 10.
Communication from the mayor regarding the appointment of Karen Patty to the Board of Health for a 3-year term to expire on February 5th, 2029.
Counselor Arm.
Thank you, Mr. President. Recommend this go to Personnel Committee for review.
Motion's made and seconded to refer to the Personnel Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The item's going to Personnel, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 11.
Communication from the mayor regarding the reappointments of Deborah McManus and Lindsay Jarrick to the Commission on Disabilities for 3-year terms respectively to expire on the following dates: Deborah McManus on October 20th, 2028, and Lindsay Jarrick on July 21st, 2028.
Counselor Arm.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know one of the members is here present, and these are reappointments, so I'm going to recommend approval of these reappointments and thank them for their service. Thank you, Mr. President.
Motion's made and seconded to approve both reappointments. Any discussion on the motion? Oh, Counselor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I've been a member of the Disabilities Commission since I've been on the council, about 10 years now. During that time, Deborah McManus has been president all that time. She's been president, or she's been active in that for a very long time. And I don't think there wouldn't be a Commission of Disabilities if it wasn't for her. So congratulations for her getting reappointed. Lindsay is up back here, so thank you for showing up as well and being a strong part of the group. So I think it's a great asset for both of them in the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Doucette. Any other discussion on the motion? On the motion to approve both reappointments, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. They're both reappointed, and the vote is 11-0. Congratulations, Lindsay. Number 12.
Communication from the mayor regarding the reappointments of Stephanie Ferrecchia, Adrian Gilbert, and Kathleen Newton to the Historical Commission for 3-year terms, all to expire on February 5th, 2029.
Counselor Arm.
As noted previously, these are reappointments, and I would recommend approving these reappointments and thank the members that are on the committee, Historic Commission, for their service. Thank you, Mr. President.
Motion made and seconded to approve the reappointment of the 3 members to the Historical Commission. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? All 3 are reappointed, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 13.
Communication from the mayor regarding the reappointment of Paul Gould to the Fort Meadow Commission for a 3-year term, effective from the date of City Council confirmation.
Counselor Arm.
Boy, I'm getting my exercise tonight. That's okay, I need it. But anyways, same as noted before, this is a reappointment. I want to thank Paul Gould for his service on the Fort Meadow Commission. I live near there, so I appreciate their work and recommend that this be approved tonight.
Motion made and seconded to approve the reappointment to the Fort Meadow Commission. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. President?
Counselor Facillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Really quickly, just wanted to share Paul. I've known Paul for a very long time now, living on the lake, and his selfless service to our community, has just touched, my family and a lot of people who have called the lake home for many years. I know he's worked to maintain Collins Beach his entire life. I see Mr. Sharon's here as well. He's worked to maintain Sharon Beach, and just very grateful for their service to our community. So happy to see that Paul is willing to stick with us and keep serving on the commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Facillo. On the motion to approve the reappointment to the Fort Meadow Commission, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. The vote is 11-0 to reappoint Paul to the Fort Meadow Commission. Agenda item 14.
Communication from the mayor regarding mid-year transfer requests totaling $917,528 from various departments for fiscal year 25, which moves funds from and to accounts as outlined in the transfer sheets.
Counselor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to refer to the Finance Committee, please.
Motion's made and seconded to refer this item to the Finance Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The item's going to Finance, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 15.
Communication from the mayor regarding the transfer request in the amount of $15,094 from collector's salary line to fund the city solicitor's salary amendment.
Counselor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to refer to the Finance Committee, please.
Motion's made and seconded to refer this item to the Finance Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The item's going to Finance, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 16.
Communication from the mayor regarding the final open space and recreation plan for 2026 to 2036 for acceptance. And just to note, the Open Space and Recreation Plan is available for viewing in the city clerk's office. It is also available on the Conservation Commission website, on the city's website.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. As noted in the mayor's letter, this final open space and recreation plan for 2026-2036 has been a long-awaited document created with valuable input from the Open Space Committee appointed by Mayor Vigent with the help of former DPW Commissioner John Galoni and Donna Scalcione, who provided editing and formatting assistance. The draft plan was submitted to the council and referred to the Open Space Committee back in March of 2025. Councilors offered feedback, including 3 places of focus to be added to map 10. Since then, all of the input from the various stakeholders was analyzed and edits were made from the draft to the final document before us. According to Ms. Ryder, these include developing a dark sky ordinance to reduce light pollution and improve habitat for many species, adding a few additional parcels as high priority, capturing a few missed parcels on the map, the public participation process we used, and what new information we received were incorporated into the plan, including items such as scenic roads to the maps and a list in the document, adding additional trails to the map that were missed, updating lists for items that were completed while the plan was being written, and a few new items that had been missed, updating Section 9 with the new items that were included, and updating the plan, which is now a 10-year plan rather than the 7-year plan, based on changes to the OSRP requirements by the state. These changes are all along the same vein as the overall plan and made the plan much more robust and complete. Once accepted, this plan will ensure this is a vision for recreation, conservation, natural resources, and enhancing community character, and allows the city to apply for state and federal grants. This almost 200-page plan with 14 maps will also serve as an important guide to the City Council, the Planning Board, and Conservation Commission as each body reviews proposals for new development within the city to see if they are compatible with the goals of the plan and protective of sensitive areas. I do not see any compelling reason to refer this to committee again, so unless someone objects, I move to accept this final open space and recreation plan 2026-2036 and thank the committee members for their time in its creation.
Motion's made and seconded to accept the open space plan. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. This was a lot of work spanning a very large amount of time, and I really need to thank everyone that was involved in this. I was involved in a lot of this as well, just reviewing the material, but most of everyone else did all the heavy lifting. I hope everyone has a chance to review this material and look through it for future planning, so thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Doucette. Councilor Vital.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank the entire committee for putting this wonderful document together, but I want to give special recognition to Priscilla Ryder and to Chuck Thibodeau. They really have taken the leadership and guiding this document to its finish, where we're going to vote on it in a matter of seconds. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Vital. Any other councilors? On the motion to approve the open space plan, all those in favor? Opposed? The open space plan is approved. Priscilla, take a bow. Well done. On behalf of the council, Priscilla, we appreciate the effort and time. I mean, I know I've pestered you quite frequently on this, but your committee has done an outstanding job, and I hope we can use this to map our path going forward with developments in the city. So thank you, Priscilla. Agenda item 17.
Communication from City Solicitor Jason Grossfield regarding a request for executive session regarding the Royal 401 Elm LLC versus the City of Marlborough.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move this to take up after item number 32 on the agenda.
Motion is made and seconded to move this item to the end of our agenda. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? This item will go to the end of our agenda. The vote is 11-0. Agenda item 18.
Communication from City Solicitor Jason Grossfield regarding proposed home rule petition relative to amending Section 59A of the Charter, filling vacancies in the office of mayor and council, specifically for the procedure to fill vacancy in ward council position in proper legal form. Order number 2526-100-9415B.
Councilor Naven.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file the communication and to move this item to number 32 on the agenda.
Motion is made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication and move this item down to agenda item number 32. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? This item is filed and moving down to agenda item number 32, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item 19.
Communication from City Solicitor Jason Grossfield regarding proposed order of acceptance of Jewel Road as a public way, along with associated easements. Order number 25-100-9620.
Councilor Ficillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to refer to the Public Services Committee.
Motion is made and seconded to refer to the Public Services Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The item's going to Public Service, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 20.
Communication from City Solicitor Jason Grossfield regarding proposed order of acceptance of open space parcel within the Boschman Estates Open Space Development Special Permit in proper legal form. Order number 25-100-9620.
Councilor Ficillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to refer to the Public Services Committee.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the Public Services Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? This item's going to Public Service, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 21.
Communication from City Engineer Thomas DePercio regarding acceptance of Jewel Road as a public way with associated easements and open space parcel. Order number 25-100-9620.
Councilor Ficillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to accept and file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The communication is going to be filed, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 22.
Communication from the Planning Board regarding favorable recommendation on the acceptance of Jewel Road as a public way. Order number 25-100-9620.
Councilor Ficillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to accept and place on file the communication.
Motion is made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The communication is filed, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 23.
Communication from City Clerk Stephen Kerrigan regarding a request for a vote to rescind the junk dealer second-hand dealer license issued to Eco ATM at 240 East Main Street, Market 32, order number 25-100-9577A.
Councilor Ficillo.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Mr. Clerk. As councilors will know, we were waiting for Corey Form to come back. Still haven't received that, so move to rescind the junk dealer second-hand dealer license.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the rescission of the junk dealer's license for the Echo ATM at 240 East Main Street. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The junk dealer license is rescinded, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item 24.
Communication from Viewpoint Sign and Awning regarding a request for modification of a master sign plan for 910 Boston Post Road. Order number 25-100-9579A.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. So as noted in the letter from Viewpoint Sign, the applicant seeking an increase in the height from 18 feet to 22 feet, which they say is due to trucks' heights blocking a partial view of the sign. It is still well below the 30-foot limit. I can't read my typing. They're also asking for a change in a double pole sign to a single pole sign, but the building commissioner said that that can be allowed through a minor change, and we don't need to actually vote on that. The height increase needs a vote of the city council. Everyone has the document, so unless anyone has an objection, I move to amend the master sign plan for 910 Boston Post Road East, approved November 17th, 2025, to change number 1 from 18 feet in height to 22 in height as depicted in the Viewpoint Sign and Awning photos, with a final date of 12/2/25.
Motion made and seconded to approve the amending of the sign special permit, the master sign plan at 910 Boston Post Road, which basically increases the height of the sign. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The amended master sign plan is approved, and the vote is 11-0. Sorry. What?
2.
It's 11, 9, 10, 9, 9-2. It's approved 9-2. Agenda item number 25.
Petition of Mass Electric and Verizon to relocate one joint-owned pole on Jefferson Street beginning at a point approximately 420 feet northwest of the center line of the intersection of Highland Street and continuing approximately 10 feet in a northwest direction. National Grid is proposing to relocate pole 4 10 feet from its current location on Jefferson Street.
Council Ficillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to set a date for a public hearing and refer to the city engineer.
Motion's made and seconded to set a date for a public hearing, which will be February 23rd, and refer to the city engineer for his comments. That motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? This item's going to have a public hearing on February 23rd and go to engineering, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 26.
Application for a special permit from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of Marlboro Northborough Land Trust to build and operate 2 multifamily dwellings with a total of 90 residential units, accessory parking, resident amenities, landscaped areas, and open space areas to be located at the corner of Ames and Forest Streets.
Council Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to refer this to Urban Affairs, set a public hearing for March 9th, and advertise.
Motion's made and seconded to refer to Urban Affairs. We'll set a public hearing for March 9th and to advertise. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? This item is going to Urban Affairs with a public hearing on March 9th, and will advertise, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item 27.
Application for renewal of a taxi livery license for Katsunora Tanaka, DBA Global Limousine and Tour Services, 17 Eager Court.
Council Ficillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll be busy in public services. Please refer to the Public Services Committee.
Motion made and seconded, refer to the Public Services Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? This item is going to Public Service, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 28.
Communication from the Central Mass Mosquito Control Project regarding proposed budget notification for fiscal year 27 and compliance certification policy.
Council Orem.
Thank you, Mr. President. This communication's about FY27's budget for Central Mass Mosquito Control Program. It is going up 2% for all the communities they represent. If you look at the back pages, you'll see that we're very similar to several communities, including Worcester, Westford, Sturbridge, and others. Even though they might be smaller than Marlboro, they have the wetlands and the need for mosquito control. That's why you'll look through the budgets, but they're all 2%. Thank you, Mr. President. So I'm going to motion to accept and place on file.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Communication is filed, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 29.
Minutes of boards, commissions, and committees.
Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file the minutes of the boards, commissions, and committees.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file all the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? All the minutes will be filed, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 30.
Claims.
Who wants to take claims? I forgot to talk to Councilor
President.
Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Motion to send the claims to the legal department.
Motion's made and seconded to send the claims to the legal department. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Claims are going to legal, and the vote is 11-0. Reports of committees. Any reports of committees? Councilor Nabin.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I ask for a suspension of the rules to accept a letter to the council from President Ossing and myself providing an update from the Municipal Aggregation Committee.
Been a motion made and seconded for suspension of the rules. All those in favor of the suspension? Opposed? Suspension carries 11-0. Councilor Navin.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I know this was submitted late this evening, but I would urge everyone to take a good read at the letters on their desks as soon as they have the opportunity. For the benefit of the council and those who may be watching at home, I want to take a couple of minutes to address the highlights. As many of you know, the Municipal Aggregation Committee was created to help save residents money on portions of their electric bills. We do so by monitoring the market and securing contracts that are advantageous to residents by offering lower prices than National Grid's basic service rate. We've been successful in this effort, and to date, participants in the program have saved more than $37 million. Occasionally, there are external forces that impact the entire electricity market and require that we make adjustments to the program, and unfortunately, this is one of those times. ISO New England, which is the independent nonprofit organization responsible for managing the electric power system and wholesale electricity market in New England, has been working to ensure sufficient energy supply in our region. As the grid continues to transition to greener power generation, some of the older coal and oil generators have come offline. This is good news for the environment, but it's created some issues with the reliability of backup power and additional supply. These reliability issues are exacerbated by extreme swings in weather, like we've seen over the past several weeks. To address these concerns, ISO New England created a new program called the Day Ahead Ancillary Services Initiative, or DAISY, which uses financial incentives to keep generators online. Those costs are then passed on to all the electricity suppliers and ultimately each ratepayer. When this program began in March 2025, ISO New England estimated that the annual cost for the first year of this program would be approximately $120 million. The actual cost, just 10 months in, is over $1 billion. To say that they missed the target is an understatement. So how does this impact participants in Marlboro's aggregation program? First of all, Marlboro ratepayers, like everyone else, are responsible for their portion of these costs. Not just in the aggregation program, everybody who pays an electric bill. Working with Colonial Power, we anticipated an increase in supply costs and included a charge in the new contract that was signed with First Point Power. This charge was based on a conservative interpretation of ISO New England's original cost projections. So the bad news, as I mentioned, ISO dramatically underestimated the cost of this program. In order to account for the cost of the first 10 months of the program and anticipated future costs, the monthly rate on the supply side of your bill, and by your bill I mean those who are participating in the aggregation program, will be increasing with the March meter reads, which you will then see on your April bill. That new rate is 0.149 cents per kilowatt hour. Is there any good news? Yes. The new rate is still lower than National Grid's basic service rate of 0.153 cents per kilowatt hour. Residents participating in the program will still save money, albeit a much smaller amount. Also, ISO New England has acknowledged the challenges with this program, and we anticipate that changes will be forthcoming. Hopefully, this will lead to a program that can offer reliability with predictable and sustainable costs. As always, the Municipal Aggregation Committee will monitor the situation and continue to work with Colonial Power and the Mayor's Office to keep the Council and residents up to date on changes. With that, I move to accept and place on file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The communication is filed and the vote is 11-0. Any other reports of committees? Hearing none. Agenda item number 31.
Resolution, be it herewith resolved that whereas the City Council recognizes the importance of maintaining essential municipal services while also ensuring that increases in residential property taxes remain reasonable and predictable for homeowners, and whereas the rising costs of municipal operations require careful fiscal planning to balance service delivery with taxpayer affordability, and whereas prior municipal budgets have resulted in increased financial pressure on residential taxpayers, and the City Council seeks to establish clearer limits and greater predictability in future budget proposals. Be it resolved that the Mayor is hereby requested to submit a proposed municipal operating budget for the upcoming fiscal year that limits the impact on residential property taxes to no more than an average increase of $250 per residential property. Submitted by Councilor Vital.
Councilor Vital.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to refer to Finance.
Motion's made and seconded for this item to the Finance Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I appreciate the sentiments of the councilor, and I certainly agree that we have had rising costs in municipal operations, which is why I voted no on recent salary increases that will impact the upcoming budget, and that residents have had increases in their taxes. That is unprecedented. If the council wanted to send the mayor a request to give us a level funded or a specific reduction, I would consider approving that. However, asking the mayor to present a budget that increases residential taxes to no more than $250 on average is not something I can support. When the mayor presents a budget to the council in the early springs, it's after discussion with department heads with possibly a request to level fund or even reduce their budget by a percentage. Estimated receipts are usually projected conservatively, but it isn't until we set the tax rate in December that anyone can know the actual impact on a taxpayer, because it isn't until then that we know the growth of the city, the assessed values of properties, and our real receipts, which all make up the amount that we have to raise in taxes. Let me review some past budgets. In fiscal year 23 budget presented by the mayor, he presented it with a 4.18% increase from prior year. The council reduced that budget by $806,000 for an increase of 3.72 for a budget of $180,454,099. When we set the tax rate in December, it was estimated the average taxpayer would see an estimated tax increase of $199. The FY24 budget presented by the mayor was a 4.57% increase. The council reduced that budget by $940,000, but also asked for additional funds for a new budget that was 4.04% increase. When we set the tax rate in December, it was estimated the taxpayers would see a reduction of $189 due to increases in value and a lower tax rate. The FY25 budget presented by the mayor was 4.68% increase, with cuts by the council of a little over $700,000 for a 4.3% increase. When the tax rate was set, the average house increased by $183, even with a lower tax rate from the year before. The FY26 budget was an increase from fiscal year 25 of 9.9%, with cuts of $1.4 million by the council, bringing it to 9.15%. This increase was unprecedented due to a $4.67 million increase in insurance, $7.2 million for the public schools, $1.03 million for Assabet, and a little over $1 million for salary adjustments. When the tax rate was set, it increased, and property values had also increased, with the average household seeing an increase of $591, about 10%. And we all heard from taxpayers when they got those tax bills. We know there will be salary increases and probably insurance increases for the FY27 budget, but that $213,821,841 budget is our starting point versus the fiscal year 23 budget of $180+ million. It's going to take tough choices to prevent another 10% increase. If the mayor doesn't do it, then as councilors, our job is to look at that budget and then decide what cuts we feel are necessary. I say let the mayor do his job of creating a budget, and then we can do our job to review that budget and make those necessary reductions. It won't be easy, but I won't support this and hope others will join me to let the mayor do his job and then us to do our job. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Roby. Any other comments? Councilor Vital.
Thank you, Mr. President. The purpose of this resolution was because I heard many of my constituents telling me that they couldn't afford to pay their increase in property taxes. I've only been through 2 budget cycles, if you will, and I find it quite difficult to be trying to respond to a budget that's been presented to us and us having a limited amount of opportunity to give feedback into it. The mayor has done it all, and we have to kind of like take it or leave it. And this body has not done, at least in the eyes of my constituents, a good enough job of reducing that budget in order for them to have a limited tax increase. The reason why I did this now is that I wanted a clear-cut message to the mayor to do his job, but not to do the job at the end, but to do the job from the start. And that's why I refer to Finance Committee, because we can have some active discussions about what's the best way to do that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Vital. Any other comments? On the motion to refer to Finance, all those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All those opposed? 1, 2. How come that doesn't come to 11? Was it 9?
I counted 9.
Okay, 9 to 2. On the motion to refer to finance, the vote is 9 to 2 going to finance. Agenda item number 32.
Order number 2526-100-9415B, proposed change to city charter relative to section 59A for filling vacancies in the office of mayor and city council. And in city council recommendation, the Legislative and Legal Affairs Committee was to approve at the January 12, 2026 city council meeting. This item was postponed to this meeting, to the January 26, 2026 city council meeting.
Council Navin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the recommendation of committee.
Move the recommendation of the committee, which is to approve the home rule petition. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The home rule petition is approved, so Jason and company have some work to do, and the vote is 11-0. Now go the letter back to the executive session portion of the program. Yep. Yep.
Move that the Marlborough City Council meet in executive session under Purpose 3 of the Open Meeting Law, Mass General Law, Chapter 30, Section 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body. Regarding the pending matter, Royal 401 Elm Street LLC versus the City of Marlborough, Land Court Number 25 Miscellaneous 000631. As the chair hereby declares that discussion in an open session may have a detrimental effect on the city and the city council's litigating position. The city council will not reconvene in open session after the executive session.
Councilor Roby, you want to make a motion?
Move to approve the order as read by the city clerk.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the order as read by the city clerk, and we will not be reconvening, so that is a roll call vote, so I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilor Gould.
Say yes.
Yes.
Councilor Roby.
Yes.
Councilor Sargent.
Yes.
Councilor Fucillo.
Yes.
Councilor Oram.
Yes.
Councilor Vidal.
Yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Yes.
Councilor Navin.
Yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Yes.
Councilor Irish.
Yes.
Councilor Preciado.
Yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The motion to go into executive session is approved by a vote of 11-0, and we will not be reconvening when we complete. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned. The meeting at 8:37 will now go into executive session.